architecture training helps me in a lot of ways. It helps me design plates in ways that I don't think people who have not been trained in design don't understand. I know that I try to train my line cooks. We always have base flavor, like a floor flavor, we've got a wall flavor, and we've got a ceiling flavor on every item that we do. And it's very architectural. People tell me that my food has more of a depth or an intensity of the flavor and the preparation. I also still use the same architectural principles of rhythm, balance, proportion, and scale, line, form, color, and texture. Like architecture, we start with schematics on the plate. And what's really interesting about starting with schematics is that it's not serious. We start with the schematics and we ask it what it wants to be. Just like if you were to design a piece of architecture, you start with schematics on the drawing with some flimsy paper, and you're asking it what it wants to be. And it starts to design itself. And food does that too. In architecture, the fourth dimension is time. In food, the fourth dimension is flavor. And that's where we start to add things to. We can do the line, the color, the texture, the rhythm, the balance. We can get that. But if it doesn't taste good, you know, what are you talking about here? Nothing. That's something else for you. Frank Lloyd Wright said a doctor, let me see, how did it go? A doctor can bury his mistakes, an architect can only advise his client to plant vines. Here in the kitchen, we're lucky because we eat our mistakes in more ways than one. But by using a schematic, we finally go into a rough draft, and from the rough draft, we go into a final draft. But everything gets a design element. It has a floor, it has a structure, it has a ceiling to it. And all those are flavor components. Flavor components that belong on this level, flavor components that go all through the dish, and flavor components that float on the top of the dish like a roof. People tell me that there's an intensity of flavor in my food, but it has to do with the fact that we build it. We don't just put it on a plate, it's built.